Yeah, good morning. Uh, my name is Bahati Nyahundu. I'm a student at Ohio State University, Department of Social Work, and I want to present to you the assignments and comparative health problems. In this case, I'm going to talk about the health system inequality and the disparate burden of HIV/AIDS in South Africa and USA. This assignment gonna have this presentation will have different paragraphs, and we're gonna go deep and see exactly what the United States does and what South Africa does. Then you're gonna see the comparative analysis. Going forward, we're gonna see the conclusion. In fact, I'm not gonna take time. I'm gonna just take almost 5 minutes or six. My goal is just to make you understand what healthcare looks like between the two countries. Okay, here we go. As an introduction, says a significant health problems that offers a comparative lens between the United States and South Africa is healthcare inequality and its impact on the burden of disease like HIV/AIDS. While both countries face challenges in healthcare access and disparities, the context and severity differ considerably. Now, let's go and see what the United States does. In the United States, disparities in healthcare access and outcomes are often tied to socio-economic factors, race, and ethnicity. For example, Black African American individuals faces higher HIV diagnosis and prevalence compared to other groups. Moreover, a study revealed that African American and American Indians have higher age-specific death rates compared to white individuals across various age groups. Now, despite advancements in healthcare, access remains a challenge for many due to the factors like lack of health insurance and the higher cost of care as found in the National Institute of Health. Then, while the United States has seen a significant decline in HIV associated mortality due to effective treatment and prevention programs, HIV continues to disproportionately affect specific population, particularly minority groups, according to the CDC. Now let's look about South Africa. In South Africa grapples with profound healthcare inequalities, largely stemming from the historical legacy of apartheid and persistent socio-economic disparities. The country operates with a two-tied healthcare system where a well-funded private sector caters to a minority of the populations, while the underfunded public sector serves the majority. Access to healthcare service is particularly limited for marginalized communities, especially in rural areas, due to geographical isolation, inadequate infrastructures, limited resources, and economic constraints. South Africa carries a disproportionately high burden of global HIV epidemic, with the highest number of HIV infections in the world and higher disease prevalence. Now, this has had a devastating impact on the health system and overall life expectancy. The HIV/AIDS epidemic affecting the country's health profile, contributing significantly to disability and premature death. So, comparing those two countries, you may see that South Africa is facing a lot of problems due to first of all, due to the economic constraints, inadequate infrastructure, limited resources, and again, due to the geographical isolation. This is also happening especially in the rural areas where there is no road, transportation problem to reach to the healthcare centers, those kind of things. Yes, compared to South Africa, compared to American government, and this is found or mentioned by the Nation of Institute of Health. So, yeah. Now let's see the comparative analysis. It's short. It's gonna just combine all the comparative that I said above, and it's not gonna be long. Now let's go and see a comparative analysis. Now both countries demonstrates a strong influence of social determinants of health on health outcomes. However, in South Africa, listen now. However, in South Africa, those factors are deeply intertwined with historical inequalities and led to a more severe and widespread impact on health and access to care. This is a problem. South Africa faces a much greater burden of HIV, as we said above, HIV/AIDS compared to the US. Compared to the US, particularly in terms of prevalence and impact on mortality. Oh my goodness. So, which means due to the factor that I said above, economic, rural area problems, geographical problem, limited resources, and the economic constraint, people are losing life, mortality is being high than USA. Now, the US has a large privately driven healthcare system where insurance coverage is paramount for access to quality care, not Peterson KFF health system tracker. In contrast, South Africans' dual systems creates a stark divide in the quality and accessibility of service based on income and insurance status, which is good. Now in conclusion, conclusion is gonna be too short, but it's gonna include everything that we need or what we have said above. Now let's see. In conclusion, I've seen that while both the US and South African struggle with healthcare inequalities and their impact on health problems like HIV/AIDS, the magnitude and underlying causes differ substantially with South Africa facing a more systemic crisis exacerbated by its history and socio-economic disparities. So this is how it is comparing to the two countries. We see that there's some similarity and there's the difference. And looking at the way people are losing their lives or mortality in South Africa, people are losing lives because of many factors like socio-economic or economic constraints, um, um, the infrastructures issues, uh, uh, and so on and so on. When you say infrastructure issues, you may find that there's no road in the rural areas. When somebody got sick, so to reach the center, the health center, emergency is not possible. Then you find that people are losing their lives. Yes. So this is what I have to say here. And I believe that everybody has heard and got something to take away. So I believe to meet you again next time. Thank you. Bahati Nyampundu.